These men were convicted of attempted unlawful sexual conduct with the person in custody. Eric Gomez, when he supervised a female inmate work crew in Goodyear, Anthony Villavicencio, while he was a state correctional officer, but neither spent any time behind bars, a stark contrast to how one state handled sexual assault cases against an inmate. The two Arizona victims spoke to the Republic to try and shed light on what they call an injustice.
The first incident was I went to the van, and then Eric Gomez came behind me and he pushed me down and tore my pants off and inserted himself into me, and then I guess that happened. And then another incident when I went to go to a porta potty, and he followed me and locked the door and did the same thing.
Gomez initially denied the allegations, telling investigators that the victim must have put his DNA inside of her after he masturbated inside a portable restroom. He ultimately pled guilty, agreeing to no prison time and a sentence of 10 years supervised probation. The victim was not allowed to address the court at his sentencing because she was in custody at the time. Arizona's Victims' Bill of Rights guarantees victims the right to be heard at any court proceeding, but the law does not apply to inmates, even if they are also crime victims.
When a victim speaks about the rape and what happened in detail, I think that it gets across how badly it affected them and how tragic the actual occurrences were.
Former inmate Asia Siebert's voice was never heard in court either.
I was sexually assaulted by Officer Anthony Michael Villavicencio. He had pulled me out of my cell and taken me to the staff bathroom, and when he took me to the staff bathroom, he attempted to perform oral sex on me. There was no result that he wanted, so then he had me perform oral sex on him.
Villavicencio could not be reached for this story, but court records show he told investigators the sex was consensual.
I flipped out. I didn't hit anybody, but I was like, you're basically telling me, the victim of something, that I wanted it. You know, like, what are my options here? Tell him no, and then see what the retaliation is?
Asia Siebert filed a civil lawsuit last November claiming Villavicencio forced her to perform oral sex and let other inmates into her cell to sexually assault her. She has no problem being publicly identified, telling the Republic she hopes her civil case will bring to light sexual assault problems she faced within state prison.
If I'm being honest, as long as there's prisons, this is going to happen. You know, so I would have to say, if it saves one girl from a situation because policies changed, then yes. But there's no way girls like me, whether you look like me or you don't, you should not be placed in a situation to where you have to accept a certain type of treatment and then rationalize it in your head like, you know what, it wasn't that bad, because it is that bad.
Other states are demanding accountability and justice for public officers who abuse their power. On January 21st, an ex-Oklahoma City police officer, Daniel Holtzclaw, was sentenced to 263 years in prison for a series of rapes involving women under his control.